The fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask. Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome Dung-Eater, and Sir Gideon Othmere, the all-knowing. And one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between. To stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
I had found myself in an old room that smelled like dust and blood. I looked around to see that I was in some sort of cathedral. A platform was above me, its hinges covered in spiderweb. I moved forward to investigate and saw the dead body of a maiden with blood dripping from her body. Perhaps this is where the smell of the blood came from. Slowly, my memory came to me, but in bits. I do not remember my name nor my origin, but I do know that I am a Tarnished. My kind was long banished by Queen Marika, the Eternal, from the lands between. I felt a chill down my spine as I went through the heavy door of the church, and there in the distance I could see the great Erd tree. and its leaves falling upon us all as a blessing. I take off my helmet and continue forward. Finally, I could breathe in proper. As I was crossing the shaky bridge with gusts of wind hammering my body, I wondered what the message meant for me to become an Elden Lord. Moving into the empty courtyard with the statue of Marika in front of me, I felt something big was about to come. I braced myself and held my rapier tightly. And then, suddenly, out of nowhere, a spider-like creature had come. It wielded a great shield and a sword with dozens of limbs attached to its grotesque body. I had no time to organize my thoughts. I had to kill or be killed.
Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on his side. We found him here, after all. One of his kind is sure to seek the Elden Ring. Even if it does violate the Golden Order.
Opening my eyes yet again, I saw myself in possession of 2 flasks, one that heals all my wounds with its red flowing watery substance and the other filling up my magic. Still confused, I move forward to see a glowing tree, a much smaller version of the Erd tree. It was cold in the crypt, but I could sense something warm just up the stairs, and as I had predicted, it was a grace of gold bestowed by the great Elden Ring. Why and how it came to me, I cannot recall, but this grace seemed to warm me and heal me, so I didn't dwell on my questions much. Having rested, I got up to continue forward. To my right was a fogged room which I could not enter. There was an imp statue that required a stone sword key. I had none in my inventory, so I continued forward. Up the stairs was a rounded room and a lift, which I used to go up, and I contemplated about all that has been happening to me. I had went through a fog to come to the lands between, but was somehow here. All I could think of was the Elden Ring. I had heard it had shattered, and a war followed the shattering. All the demigods took part in this war of the shattering, and it took great strength to lift the iron door, and I could see the blue sky for what seemed like the first time, the warm breeze and the glorious sight of the Erd Tree. The castles atop the great mountains, and the greenish hue of the whole land. There is no mistaking it. I was in the lands between, in Limgrave. There I could see a grace just in front of me and a man standing by the edge of the cliff. I hastened to touch the grace and talk to what it feels like the first person in this land. He called himself Vara and seemed to have a distaste for the Golden Order.
Oh, yes.
The order that follows the teachings of Marika.
The lands between for the Elden Ring? Of course you have. No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless. Without guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the Round Table Hold, you are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity. Luckily for you, however, there is one shining ray of hope for even the maidenless. Me, Vare. Take care to listen. Are you familiar with grace? The golden light that gives life to you, Tarnished. You may also behold its golden rays, pointing in a particular direction at times. That is the guidance of grace, a path that a Tarnished must travel. Indeed. Grace's guidance holds the answers. It will lead you, Tarnished, to the path you are meant to follow, even if it leads you to your grave. Grace's guidance to Castle Stormvale, over on the cliff, the home of the decrepit demigod, Godric the Grafted. It's time you set off, I should think, to Castle Stormvale on the cliff if you seek the Elden Ring, maidenless as you are. It's time you to Castle Storm.
The Golden Rider, wielding a great axe upon gold-gilded armored horse, was patrolling. I wanted to take a good look at him close. But curiosity got the best of me, and I had gotten too close. It was a tree sentinel, and it attacked me straight away. There was no way I could fight such a monstrosity, but I had to fight. Mama did not raise no quieter. With my magic and quick thrusts of my rapier, I held my own. His blow that landed my body almost crushed me. If not for the healing flasks that I had found back in the cave, I would have been a goner. But in the end, I had overextended myself, and I met my end in the hands of the Golden Rider.